Everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric and our long-running series, The Unported Playlist, where I take a look at some of my favorite unported arcade games of all time. Today we got a particularly strange one for you, that is Space Bomber by Psiyko. It is a shmup that also plays a little bit like Point Blank, but before we get too far involved, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like, subscribe, and that notification bell definitely helps us out. If you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down there as well, but if you don't support, we won't send squids to come after you. Now at the base value, Space Bomber is basically just something like Galaga or any other single screen shmup. It has the exact same mechanics. Where this game excels is 1, it's a great bullet hell game in the later stages, 2, it is absolutely weird and strange, and 3, it has a really fun capture mechanic where you can capture your opponents and use them as different power-ups. But the basic story is that aliens are invading Earth, and you have to work with the president to repel them. But you'll see there, with that hook, I'm able to grab the opponents in front of me, and outside of taking a death, because this game is quite hard, I can use them as charged attacks. Basically, the way the game works is that each stage has 4 sub-stages. The second stage is going to be a mini-boss, and the fourth stage is going to be the full boss, and you progress throughout the game from there. And this is just one of those games that barely anybody knows about, and the fun thing is, and I hope the video doesn't ruin it, is you can still pick up a PCB relatively cheaply. It used to be under $100, now it's under $200, but for shmups, especially rare ones, that's a ton of fun. But you'll see there, I captured that frog and I shot it forward, and he's going to be shooting musical notes out for me. Each enemy that you can capture has its own different mechanic, and you need to learn and see which ones work best for you. And you can have 4 different captured enemies behind you at any given point in time, and a lot of the strategy is you can bring them from stage to stage, as you want to really load up before you get to a boss, like the trash can. Yes, that's just a giant trash can crapping out smaller UFO trash cans, and weirdly it has a 6-speed gated shifter in the bottom of it. And I know it's a shifter because it's going to be used later on. The developers at Psiyko must have just been having fun when they made Space Bomber, because it's just a weird, strange game that is so charming and so unique you can't help but smile when you play it. And you'll see that I did use one of those power-ups there, and it does give you a rapid-fire shot to do damage against the boss, and that's going to be the name of the game in Space Bomber. Figure out what each captured enemy can do for you, store them up, and use them at the right time. Interestingly, it did have the Twin Towers in the background, so you can definitely tell when this game was made. It was definitely before that instance, as it were. But I do love the intercuts here with the president and just his open mouth, and it gets even weirder. Now we're fighting dogs that throw bones at us. This game has absolutely no rhyme or reason as to why it's doing what it's doing. The environments, the settings, the cutscenes, the enemies, everything is just, I feel like, whatever the hell anyone wanted to draw that day, and they were putting it in the game. Because we have this gigantic pig that kind of reminds me of stuff from the Cotton Shmup series. It feels almost like a homage in some ways to different shmups that came before. And we can even capture these other little UFO looking pigs to shoot out. But the pig's got his little wrinkly tail with the red antenna nub on the end, and he's got all these dramatic attacks where he shoots steam from his snoot. It's just fun. I love weird games, but I love weird games when they're actually good games as well, and that's the great thing about Space Bomber. It's not just weird to be weird. It's weird while also being mechanically very interesting and extremely challenging, because in later stages, as you'll see soon, the bullet patterns are fast, they're quick, they're complex, and they fill most of the screen. This is the type of game that only takes about 15 minutes to play from start to finish, and again, I just love these weird cutscenes. Here comes the president, and he just looks like maybe Michael Douglas or Kirk Douglas put together. It doesn't make any sense, but it's just so much fun. But of course, being a weird game, it also has a really fun and unique soundtrack. So go ahead and listen for about a minute. I'll come back and tell you more why Space Bomber is the weirdest and best shmup you've probably never heard of. But enjoy. The soundtrack's exactly like you would expect for a game called Space Bomber that has cats shooting out. It's just fun and cheery, and I'm surprised this game hasn't become more popular, if nothing else for the meme of it, because you have these cat UFOs and rabbit UFOs and the rabbit shoot out carrot missiles. It just has all the makings of something that you would see a gif of on Reddit with some sort of meme written across it, and hey, maybe after this video someone can invent that. but it's just such a weird game, and Psiyko wasn't known for making that weird of games. It's clearly a smaller game, it probably was very easy to make, probably didn't take them that much time, but you'll see again I took another death. If you're looking for a challenging game to 1 credit clear, and you've tried a lot of the other shmups out there, I think Space Bomber would give you a ton of challenge because like I said, this has both pattern-based bullets as well as some more organic ones, and when you die you do get decent power-ups back, which is nice of them because I think they knew how hard the game was too. But if you're looking for something that's just new and unique and you think you can 1 credit clear it, this would be a really interesting game to take a look at. And now we have what looks like this almost Mayan statue that's also a spaceship that's also trying to attack us, while these Nautilus or Nautiluses, I'm not sure what the plural of a Nautilus is, are just spiraling around him. And maybe they're not even a Nautilus. I don't know what's going on in this game. That's so much fun, is that you have absolutely no clue what the hell's going on. All you know is that this face with these giant red lips and those circular black eyes are coming for you, and the president's mouth is very angry about what's happening. It's just weird, and I love it for that. It's kind of like when I talked about Ninja Baseball Batman. That's a weird game known for being weird, but it's also a great beat-em-up game. Space Bomber is a very weird game that's also a very good shmup at the same time, and I like that it's doing something different with the shmup formula. The screen's never moving. It's a single stage screen. Once you destroy enough enemies on screen, you're going to move on to the next area. Like I said, the soundtrack is so weird and fun. I want you to hear a different song from it, so go ahead and enjoy for like 30 seconds, and I'll come back and tell you more why, if you're not playing Space Bomber, you're making a mistake. But enjoy. Great soundtrack and just a weird game. You had that giant pig come back, you had it look like a children's toy, you had a monkey with symbols, and those are all parts of the boss that you need to fight. And trust me, the game isn't even done getting weird yet, because it's going to keep getting weirder and weirder the further we get into it. I just love that circular head guy. He's just so strange. But now we're in the aliens' castle. That's right, they've got a floating castle in space, and now the bullets are going to start coming fast and loose. They're just moving everywhere, and this is where it gets really hard, where my brain breaks a little bit, because not only do we have pattern-based bullets, we also have bullets that just seem to be doing whatever they feel like doing around the screen. And that's where this game gets hyper challenging, and for me, I don't think I would ever be able to 1 credit continue it. But what is the final boss? Well, in part, it is the same trash can we fought at the beginning, but now it's a gold trash can, and you know full well if it's gold, it's more powerful. And then, the trash can opens up to this Terminator-looking circular mouth. Who knows what the hell's going on? I don't get it. I don't think the developers of the game got it, but that's what's so much fun, is it's just weird and quirky and strange and unique and probably like nothing else you have ever played. But yeah, that's Space Bomber. We've destroyed the trash can, and now the master head comes out. I will put a full playthrough of this game up the Monday after next so you can see absolutely everything I had to cut. But leave me a question or comment down below. I'm curious, have you ever heard of Space Bomber? Have you ever played it? Do you own it in your collection? I'm assuming most people don't, but hey, you never know. I'll be back next Sunday with another episode of the Imported Playlist. Do me a huge favor, hit like and subscribe, or else I may invade your home planet as a giant smiling head. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.